Welcome to Sleep Story. Let the soothing cadence of a story weave through your consciousness, lulling your body to rest and your mind to tranquility as you drift into dreams on the wings of imagination.
But said can Z word Darren will be comical Shunyin people. Family poverty and good learning, and people work, tasted borrowing people's books to see, read it once, more not forget. Eloquence discernment too, less bold, Sun Quan called for counselors, and one guy most good. Guy knew that he had the courage to speak, so he wanted to offer a book of fraudulent surrender. Zephyr gladly promised to say, a great man in the world cannot build a career, not a few with the grass and trees with the rot. Gong both donate his body to the Lord, Z, and why not cherish the life of the micro? Huang Gai rolled out of bed, worship and thank you, Zephyr said. Things cannot be slowed down, you can then go, Cover said. The book has been repaired. Z received the book only that night dressed as a fisherman, driving a small boat, looking at the North Shore and traveling. It was a cold starry night, 3 o'clock, early to the Kawami Water Fortress. River Patrol Sergeant took hold of the night to report to Cao Cao. Cao Cao said, could it be a spy? The sergeant said, only a fisherman, claiming to be the East Wu Counselor Can Z. There are confidential matters to see. The drill sergeant said, I'm just a fisherman who claimed to be Kanzi, a staff officer of the Eastern Wu. The sergeant led Kanzi too. Only to see the tent lights and candles brilliant, Cao Cao sat with a few dangerous. Asked, you are a staff officer of the Eastern Wu. Why are you here? Kanzi said, people say that Prime Minister Cao is thirsty for talent. But now I see that this question does not fit. Wong Gong do, you and wrong thinking also. Caviar said, I have been at war with Dongwu for a long time. You traveled here privately. How not to ask? Z said, Wong Gong Fu is a former minister of Wu for 3 centuries, and now he was beaten by Zhou Yu in front of all the generals for no reason, so he was not able to overcome his anger. He wanted to surrender to the Prime Minister, so he planned to take revenge on me. I am as close as flesh and blood to Gong Fu, so I have come to offer a secret letter. I do not know whether the Prime Minister is willing to accept. Cao said, where is the book? Kans took the book and presented it. Fuck open the book, watch under the lamp. The book said, covered by sun's favor. This should not harbor to hearts. However, today's situation, 6 counties of Zhengdong pawns, when China's millions of divisions, the multitude is outnumbered. The sea is also common to see. All the officials of the Eastern Wu, no matter whether they are wise or foolish, know that this is not possible. Zhou Yu Kid, favoring shallow stupidity, conceited of its ability, always want to use the egg against the stone, and trespassing on the authority of the blessing, not guilty of the punishment, not rewarded for the merits, covering the old ministers, for no reason for the destruction and humiliation, the heart really hates. I have heard that the Prime Minister is sincere and open-minded, and I would like to lead the people to surrender, in order to build a success to avoid the shame. Grain, grass, and military weapons are offered with the ship. Sobbing blood worship white. Do not seed out. Cao Cao in a few cases on the flip will read the book more than 10 times, suddenly patted the case with eyes wide open and said, One guy with a bitter trick, so that you under the book of fraudulent surrender, on the matter, but dared to play to insult me, yeah. Then teach the left and right launch the beheading, left and right will cans cluster down. Zephyr face does not change face, up to the sky laughing. Fuck taught to lead back, scolded. I have recognized the treacherous plan. Why are you laughing? Z said, I do not laugh at you. I laughed at Wong Gong Fu do not know people here. Fuck said. Why do not know people? Z said. Kill then kill. Why ask? Cow said, I have been familiar with the Book of War since childhood. I know the way of treachery. This plan. You can only hide from others. How to hide from me? Z said, you and say that the book that thing is a treacherous plan. Caviar said, I tell you that crack, teach you to die without complaint. You are sincere in offering the book to surrender. How do you not know about the time? What do you have to say now? Kanzi heard, laughed and said, Loss you do not fear. Dare to boast that you are familiar with the Book of War. You should not withdraw your troops as soon as possible. If we fight, we will be captured by Zhou. I have no knowledge of the generation. It's a pity that I have to die by your hand, Cow said. What do you mean? I am uneducated. Z said, you don't know how to strategize. You don't know how to reason. Are you not uneducated? Cow said. Tell me how many things I am not. Z said, you do not have the courtesy of waiting for the wise. I do not need to say. But there is only death, Cow said. If you say reasonable, I naturally respect, Z said. Do not you hear that betraying one's master and stealing is not a regular thing? If we agree on a date and are in a hurry, we will not be able to do it. But if we come back here, things will be leaked, but we can walk on the spot. How can we anticipate each other? You do not know this reason. Want to kill a good man, really an educated generation. Fuck hurt, change the face of the seat and thank you said. I see things are not clear. Mistakenly violate the honor. Fortunately do not worrying. Zephyr said. I and Wong Gong Fu, heart surrender, such as the baby's parents. There is no fraud. Fuck rejoiced and said, if the two can build great achievements, he will receive the title, will be above all, Zephyr said. A certain number of people are not for the title and honor. Really should be heaven to comply with the ear of man. Fuck take wine and wait. A short while, someone into the tent, in the ear of the play whispering. Fuck said, we'll book to see. The person presented a secret book. Fuck look, the color is quite happy. Kanzi secretly thought. This must be Tsai Zhong, Cyan to report the news of the torture of Wong Gai. Fuck so happy that I surrendered for real, Fuck said. Annoying mister. And then back to Zhongdong and Wong Gong Fu agreement. The first message across the river. I take the troops to meet, Z said. I have left Zhongdong, cannot return. I hope that the Prime Minister will not send a confidential person to go, Cow said. If someone else goes, I am afraid that the matter will be leaked. Zephyr again and again excuses, a long time, was said. If you go then do not dare to stop for a long time. Then when the line, fuck to give gold and silk, Z did not accept. Farewell out of the camp. And then driving a flatboat, back to Zhongdong, to see Huang Gai. Detailing the previous events. Gai said, Nongong can argue. Then Gai Tu suffered, Zephyr said. I go to the Ganning Fortress, explored Zhejiang, Cyan News, Cover said. Very good. Z to the Ning walled city, Ning access, Z said. General yesterday to save Huang Gongfu. Was Zhou Gongjin insulted? I am very unfair, Ning smiled, and did not answer. In the middle of the conversation, Sai Zhong arrived. Zephyr sent Gan Ning with his eyes. Ning understood and said, Zhou Gongjin is only confident of his ability and does not think of us. I was insulted today, ashamed to see the people of Zhongzhou. Said, gritted teeth, clapping and shouting. Xinaxu and Ning whispered in his ear. Ning bowed his head and sighed several times. Sai Zhong si Ning. Z have anti-intentions, with the words to provoke it said. General why troubled? "What's wrong with you, sir?" Zephyr said. "The pain in our bellies." "You do not know," Tsai said. "Is it possible that you want to turn your back on Wu and join Cao?" Kanzi lost his color. Ganning drew his sword and said, "My things have been spied, cannot help but kill to silence." Sai Zhong panicked. "To Gong, do not worrying. I also won the heart of the matter to tell." Ning said. "Can quickly say," Tsai said. "We are the two who were sent by Cao Gong to swindle the surrender. If you have any intention of returning, I will introduce you," Ning said. "Are you telling the truth?" the two said in unison. "How dare I lie to you?" Ning feigned joy and said. "If so, it is God's favor," Tsai said. "Wang Gongfu and General was humiliated. I have reported to the Prime Minister," Zi said. "I have already written a letter to the Prime Minister for Wang Gongfu, and now I have come to see Xingba, and we have agreed to surrender together," Ning said. "A great man who meets a bright master should be devoted to each other." So the four of them drank together, discussing matters of the heart. Tsai immediately wrote a letter to Cao Cao, saying, "Ganning is working with me as an insider." Kanzi also wrote a letter to Cao Cao, saying that Wang Gai wanted to come, but could not, and that the man on the bow of the ship with the green-toothed flag was also coming. But said Cao Cao even got to books, the heart of the doubt, gathered all the strategists to discuss. Zhongzhu Ganning was Zhou Yu insulted, willing to serve as an insider. Huang Gai was blamed for making Kenzi to surrender. All cannot be convinced. Who dares to go straight into Zhou Yu's fortress to find out the truth? Zhonggan said, "I went to the East Wu in the air the day before yesterday. Did not succeed, deeply ashamed. Today, I would like to give up my life to go again, and make sure to get the real information to return to the Prime Minister." Fuck was delighted, immediately made Zhonggan on board, driving a small boat, and went to the Jiangnan water fortress side. Then make people to report. Zhou Yu heard dry again, said with great joy, "My success, only on this person." So he instructed Lu Su, "Please ask Pang Shiyuan to come and do so and so for me." The original Xiangyang Pang Tong, word Shiyuan, because of the chaos living in Zhongdong, Lu Su had recommended to Zhou Yu. Before the unity of the meeting, "You first made Su ask the plan to Unity said, break Cao when to use what strategy?" Unity said to Su, "To break Cao's army, we must use fire attack. But on the big river, when one boat catches fire, the rest of the boats will be scattered, unless we offer the chain of ruses to teach him to nail them to one place. And then the work can be accomplished." Su to tell you, "You deeply convinced of its theory, because said Su said, for me to carry out this plan. Not Pang Shiyuan cannot," Su said. "I am afraid that Cao Cao is cunning." How to go? Zhou Yu pondered. He was thinking that there was no chance, but suddenly reported that Zhonggan had come again. Yu was overjoyed. One side assigned Pang Tong to use the plan. One side sat on the tent, so that people invited dry seed does not come to pick up the heart of doubt, teach the boat in the secluded shore cable system, is into the fortress to see Zhou Yu. Yu Color said, "Ziwing, why bully me too much?" Zhonggan laughed and said, "I think with you are old brothers, especially to spit out the heart of the matter, why the words to deceive also? You said, you want to say I surrender, unless the sea withered and rotted. Previously, I remembered the old friendship, invited you to drink a drink, to stay you with the couch. You stole my private book, left without saying goodbye, returned to report to Cao Cao, killed Sai Mao, Zhongyun, resulting in the failure of my business. Today, you have come back for no reason, so you must be up to no good. I don't want to look at old friendships and cut them in two. I was going to send you there, but I have to break Cao in a day or two. If I keep you in the army, there will be leaks. Then I told my men, send Zia to rest in the nunnery on the western mountain. When I have defeated Cao, I will take you across the river. Zhonggan wanted to speak again, but Zhou Yu had already gone to the back of the tent. The left and right took Zhonggan's horse and sent him to rest in the small nunnery behind the western mountain, and assigned to soldiers to wait for him. Dry in the nunnery, the heart is worried, sleep and eat uneasily. It was a night full of stars, alone out of the nunnery, only to hear the sound of reading. Faithful steps to find, see the rocky mountain side of the grass house, several rafters, inside the light. Dry to peep, only to see a man hanging sword in front of the lamp, reciting Sun Wu Book of War. Gan thought, this must be a different person. He knocked on the door and asked to see him. The man opened the door to welcome. The instrument is not common. Gan asked his name, said, surname Pang, first name is Tong, word Shi Yuan. Gan said, is it Mr. Feng Daisy? Unity said, yes. Gan said, I've heard a lot about you, but why are you living here in the middle of nowhere? Answer, Zhou Yu is so proud of his talent that he can't tolerate anything, so I live here in seclusion. Who are you? Gan said, I am Zhonggan. Unity was invited into the grassy nunnery. Sit together and talk. Gan said, with your talent, how can you be unfavorable? If you are willing to return to Cao, Gan will introduce you. Unity said, I also want to leave Jiangdong for a long time. If you have the intention to introduce, you should do it now. If you are late, Zhou Yu will hear about it, and he will be harmed. So withdraw night down the mountain, to the riverside to find the original ship. Fly rowing to the north of the river. When they arrived at the fortress of Cao, Gan came to see them first and told them what had happened before. Fuck heard that Mr. Feng Daisy to come, personally out of the tent to welcome in, divided into guests and masters sat down, asked, Zhou Yu is young, bullying the masses, do not use good strategy. Fuck long heard of Mr. Famous, now patronage, begging not to teach. Unity said, I have heard that the Prime Minister has a method of military use. Today I would like to see the military. Cao taught to prepare the horse, first invited the Unity with the view of Dry Fortress. The Unity and Fuck and horse climbed high and look. Unity said, alongside the mountains, according to the forest, before and after, in and out of the door, in and out of the twists and turns, although the sun, Wu regeneration, rang though come back out. But also this is not enough. Fuck said, Mr. Do not be overrated, I hope to teach. So with the same view of the water fortress. See to the south of the 24 gates, all have warships, listed as a city, hidden in the small boat. There are alleys, ups and downs in order. The Unity laughed and said, the Prime Minister with the army so, the name is not false. He smiled and said, the Prime Minister's use of military force is so famous. He pointed to Jiangnan and said, Zhou Lang, Ke period will die. Fuck great joy. Back to the fortress, invited into the tent, set wine and drink, with the military opportunity, the unity of the high eloquence. Answer, Cao deep respect, attentive to each other. Tong feigned drunkenness and said, dare I ask if there is a good doctor in the army? Cao asked what for. Unity said, the Navy has a lot of diseases. We need to use a good doctor to cure them. At the time of Fuck Army, because of the soil and water, all born vomiting disease, many dead. Fuck is worried about this. Suddenly heard United said, how not to ask? Unity said, Prime Minister coaching water army method is very good, but unfortunately not complete. Fuck again and again please ask. Unity said, I have a strategy, so that the size of the Navy, and no disease, stable and successful. Cao was very happy. Please ask for a good idea. Unity said, in the big river, the tide is rising and falling, and the wind and waves are constant. The northern soldiers are not accustomed to traveling by boat, and they will suffer from illnesses due to this upheaval. If the large boat and small boat are all matching, or 34 a row, or 54 a row, the head and tail with iron ring chain, on the broad board, not to say that people can cross, the horse can also walk, ride on this line, let him wind and tied up and down. And then what to be afraid of? Cao got off the seat and thanked Mr. Nong, good plan, and can break the Dong Wu Yao. Unity said, my humble opinion, the Prime Minister to judge for himself, fuck immediate orders, call the army blacksmiths, overnight to build a chain of large nails, lock the ship, the army heard, all joy. A later poem said, Red Cliff fierce battle with fire attack, planning and decision making are all the same. If not for Pang Tong's plan, Gong Jin would have been able to make great achievements. Pang Tong also said to Cao, I see that many of the great and powerful people in the left of the Yangtze River have a grudge against Zhou Yu. With my 3-inch tongue, I will speak for the Prime Minister, so that they will all come to surrender. Zhou Yu is isolated and unsupported, will be captured by the Prime Minister. Yu is broken, then Liu Bei useless, Caviar said. Mr. Fruit can be a great success. Caviar, please report to the Emperor and be appointed as one of the 3 dukes of the column. Unity said, I am not for the rich and noble, but want to save the people here. Prime Minister across the river, be careful not to kill. Cao said, I am acting on behalf of heaven. I can't bear to kill the people. The unity of the worship of the list of documents, in order to security of the clan. Cao said, Mr. Family, where do they live now? Unity said, only by the river. If we get this list, we can save them. Fuck order to write the list of legitimate baits to the Unity. Unity thanked him and said, after the farewell, you can quickly enter the army. Do not wait for Zhou Lang to realize. Cao ran. Unity worship goodbye to the riverside. Was about to get off the boat, suddenly saw a man on the shore. The robed bamboo crown. Appalled, the Unity said, hello bold. One guy with bitter meat trick. Can see under the book of fraudulent surrender. You have come to offer a series of plans. I'm afraid that the burn is not exhausted. You put out this kind of poisonous hand. Can only hide from Cao. Must not hide from me. Pang Tong was scared out of his wits. It is true that the southeast of the country is the most powerful, but the northwest of the country has no one. After all, let's see who this man is. But Pang Tong heard, ate a shock, anxious to look back at its people. It turned out to be Su Shu. Unity C is a former friend, the heart of the bottom of the fixed. Recall that no one around was said. If you say break my plan. But unfortunately, the people of the 81 states in Jiangnan. Are you sent also? Shu laughed and said, here 830,000 people. How about life? Tuan said, do you really want to break my plan? Shu said, I am grateful for Uncle Liu's kindness, and I have never forgotten to repay him. When Cao sent my mother to her death, I said I would never set up a plan for my life. But now I am willing to break my brother's good plan. But I am also with the army here, after the defeat. The jade is not separated. How can I avoid difficulties? June, when you teach me to get out of the art, I will keep my mouth shut and far away. Unity laughed and said, you are straight, so far-sighted. Understand this is not difficult. Shu said, I hope you can teach me. Unity went to Su Shu's ear to say a few words. Pang Tong was delighted and thanked him. Pang Tong said goodbye to Su Shu and got off the boat to return to Jiangdong. That night, Su Shu secretly asked his men to spread rumors in all the villages. The next day, there were rumors in the fortresses. Early on, an informant reported to Cao Cao, saying, "Rumor has it that Han Shuai and Ma Teng of western Liangzhou are plotting a revolt and are running to Zudu to kill." Cao Cao was shocked and quickly gathered all the strategists to discuss. "I have led the troops to the south, and I am worried about Han Shuai and Ma Teng." Rumors in the army. Although we do not know the truth, but cannot be prevented. Before the words were finished, Su Shu said, "She was included in the Prime Minister, hated no inch of merit. Please get 3,000 people, night and day to the scattered pass to hold the pass. If there is an emergency, then report." Fuck Happy said, "If you get Yuan straight to go, I have no worries." Above the scattered pass, there are also military, public command. At present, allocate 3,000 horse and foot army. Order Zhangba as the vanguard. Starry night to go. Cannot be delayed. Su Shu left Cao Cao and traveled with Zhangba. This was Pang Tong's plan to save Su Shu. A later poem says, Cao Cao's expedition to the south was a constant source of worrying, and Ma Teng and Han Shuai raised their spears. Pang Tong's words taught Su Shu that he was like a fish off the hook. Cao Cao sent Su Shu to go, a little peace of mind. So he mounted his horse to see the dry fortresses along the river first, and the second to see the water fortresses. Ride a large boat in the center, built on the Shuai word flag. Both sides are listed in the water fortress. The boat ambush bow and crossbow thousands. Fuck on the top. When Jianan 13 years winter November 15th. The weather is clear, calm winds and waves. Fuck order. Set wine and music on the boat. I want to meet the generals this evening. It was evening, and the moon on the eastern mountain was as bright as the white sun. The area around the Yangtze River was like a horizontal veil. Fuck sitting on top of a large ship, left and right attendants hundreds of people, all brocade coat and embroidered jacket. The lotus god with halberd, civilian and military officials, each sitting in turn. Fuck see the south screen mountains color is like a picture. East look at the realm of chasing, west look at the river of Shirku, south look at Fanshan, north look at the Wulin. Fall look at the empty space. The heart is happy, said the officials. I since the uprising of the soldiers and the country to get rid of the murder and harm, vowed to clear the 4 seas, cut the world. Not yet got the south of the Yangtze River is also. Now I have millions of soldiers, rely on the public life. Why not succeed? After conquering Jiangnan, the world has nothing to do, and the gentlemen to share the wealth. In order to enjoy the peace, the civil and military all rise to thank said. I wish to be early to play the triumphal song. We all depend on the Prime Minister's blessing in our life. Cao was overjoyed and ordered his left and right to make wine, drinking until midnight. Drill sound, pointing to the south bank, said, Zhou Yu, Lu Su, do not know the time of day. Today, fortunately, there are people who surrendered for their hearts and minds. This heaven help me also, Xinyu said. Prime Minister do not say. Fear of leakage, Fuck laughed and said. The seat on the public and close service around, all my heart of the people also, the words of what is in the way. And pointed to the summer mouth said, Liu Bei, Zhujiong, you do not expect the power of ants. Want to shake the mountain? How foolish. Gu said, I am 54 years old this year, such as Jiangnan, steal some joy. In the past, Qiao Gong and I to the deed, I know it's to women have national color. After the unexpected 4 sons CE, Zhou Yu married. I now newly constructed bronze sparrow platform in Jiangshui above, such as Jiangnan, when married to Qiao, placed on the platform to entertain the twilight years. I wish I had enough. He laughed after saying this. Tang Du Muzi poem said, Halbert's sinking sand iron has not disappeared, since the scrub will recognize the previous dynasty. The east wind is not with Zhoulang. The copper sparrow spring deep lock to Chiao. Cao Cao was laughing and talking, suddenly heard the sound of crows looking south and flying away. Cao Cao asked, Why is this crow singing at night? The left and right replied, The crows see the moon, suspected that the day dawn. So away from the trees and singing, fuck and laughed. When the drill has been drunk, is to take the long lance stood on the bow, to wine laid in the river, full of 3 jugs of drink, across the long lance said, I hold this long lance, break the yellow towel, captured LV Bu, exterminate Yuan Jutsu, collect Yuan Shao. Deep into the north of the cessation, straight to Liaodong, across the world, quite not to live up to the ambition of the great man also. Now this scene, very generous, I as a song, you and others and the song says, sing to the wine, the geometry of life, like the morning dew. The last day is bitter. When I am generous, my sorrows are unforgettable. What can I do to relieve my sorrows, but do Kong? I have a green belt on the long heart, but for the sake of the king, I have sung to this day. Yo you dear sings, eating apples in the world. I have a guest, drumming and blowing the shung. The moon is bright like the moon, when can I stop? I am so worried that I can't stop. I have a guest of honor, and I'm not going to stop playing the shung. The moon and the stars are thin, magpies fly south. 3 turns around the tree, no branch to rely on. The mountains are not tired of heights, the water is not tired of depths. The Duke of Zhou spits, and the world returns to him. After the song, the crowd and the all laughing. Suddenly, a man in the seat said, The army is quite a time, when the soldiers use their lives. Why did the Prime Minister out of this inauspicious words? Cao Si is the assassin of Yangzhou, Peigu Xiongren, surnamed Liu, name Fu, word Yuanying. Fu from the interfax, the creation of the state, gathered the people who fled the scattered, set up schools, extensive cantonment, the rise of teaching, Cao for a long time, more achievements. At that moment, Cao asked, What is wrong with my words? Fu said, Moon and stars, magpies fly south. Around the tree 3 turns, no branch to rely on. This is not a good thing to say, Fuck furious said. You dare to defeat my happiness. He stabbed Yu Fu to death with a long lance. Everyone was shocked. They were all shocked, so they left the banquet. On the next day, Cao sobered up, and he hated it. Liu Shi, the son of Fu, asked for his father's body to be buried. Cao sobbed and said, I was drunk yesterday and hurt your father by mistake. I can bury him with the honor of 3 dukes and allocated soldiers to escort the coffin the same day back to the funeral. The next day, the Water Army Governor Maoya, you ban at the tent, please said. The size of the ship, all have been equipped with a chain stop. Flags and battle equipment, all ready. Please Prime Minister to dispatch. Advance on the day, fuck to the Water Army Central War ship sitting down. Call set all the generals, each listen to the order. Water and drought to armies are divided into 5 color flags. The Water Army Central Yellow Flag Maoya, Yuban. The Front Army Red Flag Zhongqi. The Rear Army Soap Flag LVCI. The Left Army Green Flag Wen Higher. The Right Army White Flag LV Tong. Horsefoot Front Army Red Flag Suwong. The Rear Army Soap Flag Li Deng. The Left Army Green Flag Lejin. The Right Army White Flag Shahu Yuan. The Land and Water Road Receivers, Shahu Dun and Cao Hong. The guards to and from the battlefield, Su Chu and Zhong Liao. The rest of the prima donna, each according to the team, After the order, the Navy walled in the ring 3 passes, each team of warships divided into doors and outs. On this day, the northwest wind rose suddenly. Each ship pulls up the sails, surfing waves, stable as flat ground. The Northern Army was on board the ship, enthusiastically applying courage, stabbing guns and making swords. The front, back, left and right armies, flags and streamers are not mixed. There were more than 50 small boats, patrolling and urging the supervisors. Fuck stood on top of the general platform, watching the training. The heart is very happy, thought the method of victory. Teach and collect the sail mantle, each according to the order back to the fortress. Fuck rises tent said, all the strategists said, if not the fate of God to help me, and get Feng Zi wonderful plan. Iron rope even boat, really cross the river as if walking on the ground, Chengyu said. The boat our chain is certainly smooth, but if they use fire attack, it is difficult to avoid, cannot not prevent, Fuck laughed and said. Although Cheng Zhongdi has far-reaching considerations, but there are still sea not everywhere, Chinyu said. Zhongdi's words are very true, Prime Minister Wei laugh. Caviar said, where fire attack, must take advantage of the wind. Now in the middle of winter, but there is a west wind and north wind, and there is an east wind and south wind. I live in the northwest, their troops are in the south coast. If they use fire, it's to burn their own soldiers. I have nothing to fear. If it is October, when the spring, I have long been prepared. The generals all bowed down and said, Prime Minister's high opinion, not as good as the crowd. Kaogu all the generals said, Qing, Su, Yan, generation of the crowd, not accustomed to boat. This is not this plan, and can walk through the dangers of the river. Just see the 2 generals in the class department stood up and said, although the small generals of the people of Yue, Yan, can also ride the boat, today I would like to borrow 20 cruisers until the mouth of the river, capture the flag and drums and return, in order to show that the Northern Army can also ride the boat. Fuck to see. Is Yuan Shao under the old generals Jiao Touch, Zhongnon also?